Hi guys, welcome back. I am back today with the home care agency licensure application, and like I said, I was just going to go through it and see if there were anything that you guys might be confused with or need assistance with while filling this application out. Again, if you have not seen the first video or the second video, go back and watch that. It will give you some context. So on the first page that I'm looking at, it basically has the information. It lets you know before attempting to complete the application that you need to review the regulations. It tells you the licensure fees, and it has their address because you can mail it in or you can send it by email. And then also they have drop boxes, so they let you know to be careful when you're filling out the application and make sure you are putting exactly what would be in the drop boxes. Again, like I stated in the last video, these are legal documents. So if you make a mistake, you do need to redo the entire page. You cannot white out, you cannot cross out initial, none of that. You have to start all over again for that page. Okay, so moving on to the next page, you have to check mark the type of agency. So the agencies that they have listed here is the home health agency, home service agency, home nursing agency, home nursing placement agency, and the home service placement agency. So in this case, we will be applying for the home service agency. In my city, I say my city because the people that I talk to, they're fairly close to me. In my state, I guess, they refer to it as home care agency. So I did have a mix up with that, and I actually ended up filling out the wrong application the first time because I didn't see home care agency. So it is listed on their documents, home service agency. And so again, like I said in the video before, you will hear me refer to it as home care agency because that's what they refer to it as when I actually speak with them through like communicating through email, communicating on the phone. They say home care agency, so that's what I will refer to it as. But on your document, when you check mark the box, if your application looks like mine, you're applying for home service agency. So what that means is you'll now have an agency where you can hire people, and you're looking for clients that need assistance in their home. So it's non-medical home care services. So you or people in your business, people that you choose to hire, will go to the client's home and they will assist them in their own home. It will be based upon their care plan and whatever else you all come up with. If you have so some people have additional services, and you could say like it's light housekeeping, but if you offer something else like that helps you stand out from other people, like cutting grass or something, that wouldn't be anything that has to do with non-medical agency care, but that is something that you may offer. So it's just based on what your agency offers, their care plan, what their assessment determines that they need. If they say, oh yes, this person has a back injury, there's no way that they can bend over for a long period of time to make their bed, so they're going to need help making their bed. There's no way that they could stand long enough to cook, so they're going to need assistance with preparing meals. So you would be essentially sending someone or yourself, if you choose to work, to go to the client's house and help them with home chores, light housekeeping, cooking, cleaning, meal prep. Maybe they need the bathroom cleaned every now and then, counters wiped down, floors swept, vacuum, dusting, things like that. I have heard some places say that they don't do dusting because the debris goes into the air. But now with COVID and people being familiar with wearing masks, I think they kind of just refer people to wearing masks. So that's just a little bit about the services and what home care service agency looks like. So then you would scroll down to the next page, and this is general information. So this would be the agency name. We talked about the agency name in the last video, how you can obtain a name, how you can register that name. So you would put that name there. You would put the physical address, phone number. If you have a DBA, we spoke about that as well in the last video, doing business as. So the example was, my name is Tonii. If I have Tonii LLC and I have doing business as Tonii Home Care, I would put agency name Tonii LLC, DBA would be Tonii Home Care. Moving forward, if you have a fax number, business hours. So they want to know your business hours. What are your hours of your order of operations? The city, the days of the week, your state, your zip code, your email. If your mailing address is different, so you have a location for your actual business and you have another location where you actually reside, they're asking for that address as well. The county agent, well, mine says Illinois, but county of agency headquarters. So they want the fiscal year, the fiscal period. It's not the same for everybody. Typically, it's the first day of the year and the last day of the year. So it just asks for the month and the day beginning, and then the month and day of ending. They have an affidavit agreement. It says the date contained in this application has been reviewed by me and is accurate to the best of my knowledge. I will comply with all rules and regulations governing the license of this agency. Just a signature, date, print your name, the administrator's agency manager's title. So just whoever's signing it, what is your title? The contact person in it, and the contact person. If you're in this by yourself, that can be you. If it's somebody else, it can be somebody else. And so I am done with this process. So as far as I know, the number just has to be different. So I have a business phone number and I have a personal phone number. So when I signed my name, stating that everything is true and correct to my knowledge, I used my name. I signed the date, I printed my name, and I listed myself as the administrator and agency manager, and I just put my name there. And I put in parentheses CNA. For contact person, I put my name again, and then I put my personal telephone number, so, or vice versa, personal business number. It just has to be two different telephone numbers. Another thing is on that first page when it has the information regarding this application and it says the fees for the licensure applications and things like that, where you check mark the box at, actually I could show you guys, where you check mark the box at, it's going to let you know, let's see if I could check it, I can't. It's going to let you know what pages need to be completed, and it's very important that you stick to those pages. There was a page that they contacted me about and they said, I know it says you don't need to fill this page out, but actually we need this page filled out. They apologized. They said that the system is not updated, so it hasn't corrected it online, but they did reach out and let me know that I needed to correct the additional page. So here it's probably backwards, so I might screenshot and put it in, but if you could see at least it has those listings, the types of services, and then it has numbers next to it. Those are the page numbers. You might feel like this video is long. Like if the video is this long, it's probably that long to fill everything out, but it's actually not that long. It's that long because I'm giving you a little bit of details here. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into like what I did, what they told me, you know, things like that. But in actuality, it's all of your information. As soon as you see name, you know to type in your name. You can do that very quickly. Address, you can do that very quickly. A bunch of it is just that. They need the information because they need to know who you are, what you're trying to do, where you're located, and things like that. So I'm going to move on to the next page. And so for me, this is going to be page 4. Okay, so the next thing is select the type of organization. They have drop-down boxes here. So governmental, and you know what? It's not even letting me drop down. I don't know if it's because I'm on my iPad or what. Governmental, nonprofit, and proprietary. So now this is where the last video comes into play. You're gonna need to make sure you are registered. So whether that's a S Corp, C Corp, LLC, which is the most common, you need to have your agency registered, and it needs to be active and it needs to be in good standings because they are gonna check and you will not be able to proceed without that. So moving forward, the legal entity. So using my example again, if I'm Tonii LLC, that's going to be my legal entity. Whatever address I use for my place of business, they're asking for the address, the city, the state, the zip code, and the phone number. So moving on from there, the registered agent, which would be myself. So I'm going to put my name, Tonii, first, middle, last name, my address, where I live, where I reside. That is the address that's going there, city, state, zip code, phone number. Moving on, stockholder information. This is for corporations only, and they do let you know that it says for corporations only. So they're asking for the name of the shareholder, the business address, shares held, and percentage of shares. Moving down from there, if a corporation or LLC, name of corporation or company, state of incorporation of the company. So you just have to fill that in. So moving on to the next page, governing body. Let's see, is this the page? Yes, we need to fill this page out as well if you're doing home care services. Governing body. So this also is where they made me go back and fill in this information. I felt like I didn't have anybody that was listed as a president or vice president. Again, this was my first time go around. I really just filled the application out and winged it. I hoped that if I needed to correct anything that they would come back and let me know, and they did. So that's another thing. If you don't know something, you can call, you can email. They're available. They're very good at getting back with people. It's just between like Friday, the weekend, and Monday getting back to things, they might be a little slower. But if you reach out like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get a really good turnaround. But still, the sooner you reach out, the better. So if it's Friday, just go ahead and reach out. Don't wait until Tuesday, obviously. But they did let me know I needed to put a president, and I needed to put a secretary. So I put myself, and that was fine. So name, address, state, zip code. Have any of the following been convicted of a felony or 2 or more misdemeanors? If yes, attach an explanation as Exhibit A. So you would have to list, it would have to be titled Exhibit A. You need to have that on there. So applicant, yes or no. Any office or director of a corporation, yes or no. Administrator or manager of agency, yes or no. It's literally a circle, you check it, yes or no. And be sure to list Exhibit A with your explanation if any of those are yes. If not, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to put Exhibit A non-applicable. You just don't put it in your application. Moving forward, does the administrator, agency manager have responsibility of 1 or more agencies in your state? If yes, list the license number and agency name. They have 2 spots for you. I do know people have multiple. People do have multiple agencies. Also, people have home care agencies and people have home health agencies. And so in that case, you would need to let them know that as well. And let's see, so we're gonna skip this page because it doesn't apply to us. The next page that they have here, I'm just gonna brief it up a little bit. It's the geographic service area. So basically it's asking for the counties. So my surrounding counties would be like Cook County, which is Chicago, Kane County. So on the paper, it says 3 to 5, list 3 to 5 counties. But my first time around and not having an agency prior to filling this application out, they did reach back out to me and tell me that because I'm just now getting started and I don't have a lot of employees or basically a team behind me, that I need to go with the 3. So they told me to minimize that list from 5 to 3. So I had to go down to 3 counties that I listed. So keep that in mind. If you want to try, by all means, go ahead. You know, it can't hurt. If nothing at all, they'll just come back and say, you need to choose 3 because you don't have enough staff to be able to provide to such a large span. You can't go an hour away and then be back another hour. Like, you know, it just doesn't make sense. So the worst they could tell you is you need to come down a little bit, but you can definitely try. Because the thing here is you're gonna, once you get the, okay, so we'll talk about the time to hire people and things like that. But so you should technically already be looking to hire people before launching everything. Because if somebody called, if it blows up and they're like, hey, I need help, hey, I need help, hey, I need help, you're taking calls all day, you're getting people to sign agreements or contracts, like boom, 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 you're going to need to fill those spots. So you essentially need to have your team already hired and on board and ready to go. So you may or may not be able to actually fulfill that, but it's very easy. If you do feel like you can take on more counties later on, it's very easy to submit that information. So the next page for us is going to be page 10, I feel like. Okay, so this is another page. This is the page that they reached out to me about, and they said, actually, we do need you to fill this out. Sorry, we did not update it in our system, so it's not updated on the website. Okay, so moving forward, this is the page that if you watched the last video, I said I literally turned in the same paper like 4 times. Okay, so home service. So licensed or registered employees. List all licensed, certified, and contractual employees. Full-time, part-time, contractual. For certified nurse aide or homemaker, provide initials of employee, do not include social security number. Provide a copy of contact between the agency and the individual contracted worker as identified below if applicable. You really don't need to do it as much. It's not as difficult as it sounds. So for home service, it's very simple. You want to put the agency manager name, which for me would be myself. It says license number. We don't have license numbers for CNAs, and that would be my title. So I actually did not fill out license number. I did not fill out expiration date. And then it says part-time, full-time. I check mark full-time. And moving down, it says nursing supervisor for nursing home only. So I did not initially fill that out. When they contacted me, they said I need to fill this out if I have someone, if I'm going to be assisting clients with Alzheimer's and dementia. So I actually had to put my name. I had to put my title. So for this title, he told me what to put, and it said like I believe it was supervising staff or something like that. I will go back and I will double check it, and I will put it up here so you guys will know. And then there's no expiration date. I put full time again, and then that page was done. So literally my name, my name again. But this time I had to put my title, which was supervisor. Okay, so the next page for us will be 12. So this page, home health, home service, home nursing. Everybody that is applying for this application needs to fill this page out. It wants to know, please check the type of revenue sources of income of the agency. So local funds, local health department. Are you being paid from the local health department? Government funds, that includes Medicare Parts A and B, but that is home health only. And it does let you know that. So like I said, everybody that's applying is going to have to fill this out. So you have to know, I guess that's something that we can get into as well. You have to know who you can accept payments from. So the first one would not apply to us. Medicaid, you can receive payments from Medicaid. Other government funds. So they have VA, DHS, CCP, and other. So some of the other ones would be, which I don't think I'm going to get into this, but government contracts. So sometimes the government looks, they'll say, we have so many people that need assistance. We don't have anybody to help them. We are willing to contract anybody who's willing to help the seniors. That maybe I will get into it because it's a little bit interesting, and also I would need to cover that once we get to the things that you need to have, like the EIN number, the LLC, the email address, the phone numbers, and things like that. I will kind of touch that a little bit. So maybe we'll go on to that a little bit later. But if you have any other source of payment, you will put that there. So moving forward, other sources, self-pay. If they're paying out of pocket, HMO, PPO, commercial insurance, other revenue. Whatever you're willing to accept as a form of payment. If you want to do self-pay and that's it, you just check mark self-pay. Moving forward, they have a chart here. So in the first column is home health. Second column, home nursing. Third column is home service. You need to find your column. So which one applies? It has a check mark next to what you need. You need a fee schedule. Your fee schedule is going to be a list of services that you provide, how much those services cost. Is there a minimum of 2 hours? Is there a maximum of 24 hours? Like that's what they're looking for there. A sample client contract. You're actually going to draft an entire contract. It's going to say, welcome to Tonii LLC. Thank you for being a client of ours. We're happy to have you. These are the things that we look forward to assisting you with. You're going to go over understanding the payments, how much things are, what you do and don't do. So for like you're going to let them know it's non-medical. It's going to be the whole draft. It's just like somebody sitting across from you and you're shaking their hand and you're saying, welcome to Tonii LLC. You need to have that entire contract ready to send to them with your application. Another thing they ask for is list of services / scope of work. It's essentially the same thing as the fee schedule. If you do it right, you could kill two birds with one stone. So I don't know if I'll do that next, but I will go over that so you can see what it looks like. Because like I said, my application is accepted. So I kind of know what they will accept now. The next thing is description of service. Again, same thing as the fee schedule. So if you do it right, you can get a lot of these done with one document. One thing that wasn't clear to me that they're asking for is like the care plan, an example of the care plan. So when it says this is the client's name, the address, this is the services that the client needs, that's what they're looking for. You need to have an example of that ready to go. And you turn that in with your application as well. So they want your agency, whoever's filling out this application, they want you to list a description of the services to be provided. So if you want to say non-medical home care services, which include laundry, preparing meals, companionship, running errands, if you want to be really descriptive, you can. But they just want a little, whatever you would tell your clients. If they say, oh, are you a home care agency? Yes. What services do you provide? The same way you would talk to them. That's just what they're asking for, a list of your services that your agency provides. If you miss something, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. But those things would be detailed and listed in your fee schedule, as well as the list of scope, as well as the contract or agreement. So it's not the end of the world if you don't put it in there. And they only give you 3 lines to do so. So I'm sure they will understand. The next page that we're going to jump to, we got 2 more pages left. It goes all the way to the end. Okay, so the 23rd page, all agencies except home health. So basically you're applying for this type of agency and they complete an additional attachment E form for each manager. You're the only manager. This is the only form you need. Name, first, last, middle, address, city, state, zip code, daytime, phone number. Moving forward, if you have an employer that you work for currently or have worked for, they want that information. The name of the employer, the address, the starting month, ending month, hours, and your duties need to be explained. This last page here, have you ever been convicted of a criminal offense? Yes or no? Are there any pending issues that need to be resolved? Yes or no? If you answered yes, they have here on the documents where you would just fill the situation. You sign, date, and you're done. It's all your information, guys. Join me in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, share. If you have friends, if you have groups, anything. So again, thank you for joining today.